Oh yes, of course. And that was based, and all that artwork of that segment in Fantasia 2000 was inspired by the caricature artist Al Hirschfeld, who drew for the New York Times. Right. Yes.
Did your mom make you practice, or did you just grow
What
up?
was see, here's what she would do. She would get a belt out, and she was very encouraging. They really didn't know what to do with me, kind of, you know.
Because you were like a child prodigy?
Well, I wasn't a child prodigy. I was a kid. I think I was a kid that showed a tremendous passion for something, and that was very unusual, the passion that I had for it. But I didn't have the proper training that I needed as a child to become disciplined. I achieved that later in life by having to work like double hard in my teens.
Your presentation was a gift.
Well, I'm sorry that things got a little bit. It's all right.
We still didn't see it.
Right. Yes.
When you were young, did you feel the music right off?
Yes, I felt, but you see, you feel it, and that's half the battle. But the other half of the battle is you've got to manipulate these levers, this mechanism, to communicate the emotion that you feel inside to you. And you see, that's what's hard. You see, that you visualize it here, but you know, you heard this expression, 99% perspiration, 1% inspiration. It's true, because I was talking about this the other day. In order to make magic, to bring this wonderful music to you, is a very real process. There's nothing magical about it. It's an earthly, disciplined process of training your mind to be able to, and then once you've done that work, then you let it go, and then the magic happens. And then you develop that wonderful rapport with the audience and the performance. It's a wonderful energy.
Let me say, your concert on TV, I watched several times.
Ah.
It was wonderful. But you in person.
It's better in person. Or I'm doing it. You know, I'm doing it at the Kravis Center in January down in West Palm Beach. You know, and this dream of being at PBS, it's just, and to come back to your hometown, to be able to do it here at WFYI is just unbelievable. And I'm so flattered that you support public television, specifically wanted to come see me. That means a lot to me personally. You know, this is a very, show business is a very cruel and a very, very difficult business. And there's a lot of people in the business who aren't very nice. But the one thing that you have to remind yourself of every day is, why do artists do what they do? And the answer is for the love and the passion. And that's where it starts, and that's where it ends. Of course you need to make money. Of course you need to make a living. That goes without saying. Of course you need to be paid when you perform. But that's not the motivation. The motivation is passion and love to communicate so that look, you came here, you paid, you gave, and that's a responsibility to me, because you're saying, I'm giving you 2 hours or 3 hours, whatever it is, of my life to come to be entertained by you and be moved by you and to learn from you and to experience this great music with you. That is a tremendous responsibility for a performer to assume, that you as the audience have said, okay, I'm taking time out of my life to come hear this. That's serious stuff, you know? And so that's why when you see artists and then you see that they're temperamental and they're carrying on, they're not very nice sometimes, it's because they're focused on trying to be the best that they can be, which is such a stressful thing in life, because they want to bring it to you, the audience, to be the best that they can be, so you can have that enjoyable experience. That's why artists are temperamental.
Well, maybe.
I like to think that way anyway. Anyway, so if you have any more questions, just I'll hang around and I'll visit. Yes?
And Richard, wouldn't you agree that PBS has given an avenue to a lot of artists
Absolutely.
who otherwise no one
They would have a
even
voice.
know they exist?
The networks, you see network programming, you know, you remember, look, some of you might remember the 1960s when Donald Voorhees did the Bill Bell Telephone Hour. I mean, those days are gone. That was on major network television. You know, in the days of live television with your show of shows and Sid Caesar, and then of course, again, I mean, these things were magic, live television. And we even feel that way when we do Pledge.
Yes, absolutely.
You know, that's live television. And there's something very exciting about it because it's living on the edge. It's something can go wrong. But that's kind of the beauty of it, you know? Because we are human beings and we're not perfect. We're not supposed to be. But if I was able to communicate some type of emotion to you today, then my job was accomplished. And what I bring to you, literally, I'm 53 years old, and there's not been a day through sickness, health, sadness, tragedy, happiness, all the gamut of life throws at us. I can honestly tell you, I'm 53 years old, and there's not been a day that has gone by in my life where I have studied, read, discussed, or listened to the music of the Gershwins and their era since I've been 9 years old, and that is not an exaggeration. And that's what I bring to the table when I come talk to you. That's how I want to spend my life. You know, that's what I want to do. I like to be an entertainer, but I also want to be an educator, and I want to, I'm not Mr. Las Vegas. I'm not going to go out with the cheesy smile and the glitter and all that. I'll wear the mortician suit. But that's my voice. That's who I am, right? And it takes a lifetime to find that, And then as you get older as an artist, you find that you don't have to justify yourself to anybody. Look, I messed up a few times. I played some wrong notes. I messed up the cues. But at the end of the day, I'm not in the Tchaikovsky International Piano Competition. You're being eliminated in the first round. So it doesn't matter. If I'm able to communicate something to you, then my job is accomplished. And again, thank you to WFYI and for making this, because I love playing in this intimate atmosphere. I think it's wonderful, like a living room. And this is a vision that I actually had when I put the program together. It took about 2 years to make that program. And everything you saw, I edited that program myself. My wife, Jan Glazier, sitting right there, she wrote it. She wrote the show. She wrote the show. And we got it to PBS. So America is alive and well, and dreams can come true. And don't let anybody tell you any different.
Thank you.